Hello, and welcome to Grug Gaming, and welcome to our playthrough of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Woo! Alrighty folks, this is one of my favorite role-playing games. Let's be honest, most role-playing games are my favorite games, but this is one of the best. This game takes place in the older times of the Star Wars universe, before anything that happens in the movies. We're talking about a time when Jedis were prolific, when the Republic was the Republic, before anybody even thought of the Empire. So, let's go ahead and jump in and take a look. First thing we need to do is choose a character. There's three main classes: the Soldier, the Scout, and the Scoundrel. In this game, the Soldier is our melee character, the Scoundrel is our sneaky guy, and the Scout is a good mix between the two. I want to be able to see a lot of things in the game, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Scout. Next up, we need to create our character. So, let's go ahead and do a custom character. We need to choose a portrait. Grug is always bald. There's Grug. Next up, we need to set our attributes. Some of you may or may not be familiar with older Dungeons & Dragons, which is what a lot of this is based on. So, let's take a look. We have 6 attributes: Strength, Dexterity, Constitution, Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma. Strength is a measure of physical power. A high strength adds modifiers to melee damage, chance to hit, which is important for characters that use close combat weapons, such as vibro braids and lightsabers. Next up is Dexterity. It's a measure of agility and reflexes. A high dexterity adds modifiers to ranged attack rolls, blasters, grenades, and increases a character's defense rating, making them harder to hit. Constitution represents health and resiliency. A high constitution adds modifiers to the vitality points gained at each level up. This is important for everyone, but essential for soldiers and Jedi Guardians. Intelligence represents knowledge and reasoning. A high intelligence adds modifiers to the number of points the character has to spend on essential skills every time they level. Wisdom represents willpower and perception. A high wisdom adds modifiers to Jedi Force points and Force power saving throws. The Force power of a Jedi with high wisdom are also harder to resist. And finally, Charisma. Charisma represents personality and the ability to lead. A high Charisma adds modifiers to Force-related feats and powers that are very important to all the Jedi classes. It is also central to any persuasive talker. So we need to go ahead and put our 30 points into these different slots. So we're going to go ahead, and we're going to be using a lightsaber most of this game. So we're going to pump quite a few points into our strength modifier. We're also going to pump quite a few points into our constitution to get it above this negative modifier. You can see that 8, they all have a negative. So we're going to go ahead and bump all those up. And then, what we're going to do is spread our skills around a little bit. So, we're going to go in here, and we're going to add in our Dex to 14. That's going to give us the ability to do some dodging, still use light armor. We're going to take our Constitution, put it up to 12. It's going to give us a little bit extra hit points every level. We're going to take our Intelligence and increase it as well to get some extra skill points. We're going to put our Wisdom up to 13, which is going to make it easier to use our powers later on. And we're going to bump our Charisma up to 11, because we're going to be using a skill called Persuasion in this game to get some better conversations going with our NPCs that we interact with. So that's going to be our setup for our character. We are going to be mostly melee, and we're going to be using a lot of lightsabers, hopefully, in this game. So we're going to set it up that way. Next up, we need to choose our skills. So each of your character's skills has a number associated with it. This is the skill rank and determines how good the character is with that skill. When using a skill to perform an action, the rank is compared against a difficulty check DC number. For example, to open a lock with a DC of 15, take your skill rank in security plus wisdom modifier plus a d20 roll. If the total is 15 or greater, the lock is open. These are Dungeons & Dragons rules again. So we want to look through and choose what skills we want to rank up. So first is the Persuade skill. We want that to be as high as we can get it every time we level up. Next up, we need to choose what we're going to do. We're not going to sneak at all. We don't need to worry too much about bombs. We're not going to pick bombs up. In fact, we'll probably walk over a lot of them the way that I play games. Computer use, however, is something we're probably going to use quite a bit. Treat injury affects how well med packs work on our character. Security lets us pick locks. And repair lets us fix robots. And also to change the way droids function in the game. So, we're going to need to heal. We're going to need to be able to pick locks. And I think between computer use and repair, we can either go for repair or we could go full computer use. I think we're going to go with... Oh, come on, droids are cool. Maybe? No. We're going to go with computers. That's going to be the final decision, folks. We're going with computers. So, we're going to be as persuasive as we can. We're going to pick locks when we can. We're going to be able to heal ourselves. And we're going to be really good at using computers. Next up, we get to choose our feats. Some feats allow you to use special items like heavy armor or implants. Other feats modify saving throws and skill checks during the game, and some feats, power attack, are used during combat. Check the description for details of a specific feat. So let's take a quick look through here. So as a scout, we get a couple feats to go ahead and start the game. We get armor proficiency light and armor proficiency medium. That means that we're able to use light and medium armor. We get flurry, which lets us use multiple attacks in melee. Implant level 1, which allows us to use implants. Rapid shot, which allows us to do multiple shots at once with a blaster. We're allowed to use blaster pistols, blaster rifles, and regular melee weapons. We have one feat remaining that we can spend. Let's take a look at what our options are. We could do dual wielding. Oh, scroll back up here a bit. We can do caution, critical strike, empathy. You can see a lot of these gives us +1 to our rolls with specific checks that we'll need to do. So I think what we're going to choose, based on the character we're going to make, let's take a look at some of these. Subtracts 2 points from any damage suffered. Additional hit point at every level. I think we might take toughness at the beginning, since we're not as strong as we could be being a soldier, and we're going to take a lot of hits. So let's go ahead and take that. Alrighty. Add in the toughness feat and hit OK. We need to put in a name. We don't need any of these silly names. We are Grugtar. Alright, Grug. Let's get ready. We are ready to play through Knights of the Old Republic with Grug, our haphazardly made scout. We're going to zoom in. What's going on here? Oh, Lord. I hope we're not in there. That would be bad. I'd like to point out that that spaceship is falling, which is generally not a good thing. Why, hello there, handsome.
ambushed by a Sith battle fleet.
You don't
the
say.
Endar Spire is under attack. Hurry up, we don't have much time.
All right. Who are you?
I'm Trask Ulgo, ensign with the Republic fleet. I'm your bunkmate here on the Endar Spire. We work opposite shifts. I guess that's why you haven't seen me before. Now hurry up. We have to find Bastila. We have to make sure she makes it off the ship alive.
Cool, but who's Bastila?
Bastila is the commanding officer on the Endar Spire. Well, not an officer, really. But she's the one in charge of this mission. One of our primary duties is to guarantee her survival in the event of an enemy attack. You swore an oath just like everyone else on this mission. Now it's time to make good on that oath. I heard what everyone's saying about you. You've explored the farthest reaches of the galaxy. You visited planets I've never even heard of. People with your skills and abilities are hard to find. It's no wonder the Republic recruited you for this mission. But now's the time to prove yourself. I know you're a scout and not a soldier. But Bastila needs all troops at her side during this attack.
Well, shoot, let's not let her down. Okay, let's go help
Grab your
Bastila.
gear. You need to suit up so we can get out of here.
Where's my gear? Where can I get my equipment?
You can move the mouse to the edges of the screen to rotate the camera. Alternately, moving the mouse while holding down the right mouse button will rotate the camera as well.
We want to thank you for
To
breaking the
move
fourth
towards the
wall.
footlocker, hold down the right mouse button and face the camera towards it. Then hold down the left mouse button as well to cause the character to run forward. You can left-click on an object to select it. Once the footlocker is selected, left-click on it again to perform the default action and open it.
Alrighty. Well, we are ready to begin our adventure here in Knights of the Old Republic. So we will go ahead and get dressed, pick up our equipment, and start this galaxy-spanning adventure on the next episode of Gaming with
You
Grug.
can move the mouse to the edges of the screen to rotate
Thanks
the
for
camera.
watching, everybody,
Alternately, moving the mouse
and
while
hopefully
holding
we'll
down
see
the
you
right
soon
mouse button
while
will
this
rotate
gentleman
the
teaches
camera
us
as
how
well.
to play the game once
To
again.
move towards the footlocker, hold down